All right, what is going on? Article on the Substack yesterday. We're gonna go over that real quick. How to cook chicken perfectly. One of the things that I always tell people is, if the goal is, first of all, you need to know what the goal is, and the more vague and unclear you are about that goal, the more difficult it is actually going to be to get there, because you don't know where you're trying to go. So a lot of times people will say things like, oh, I just want to be healthy and I want to lose some weight, and that's not clear. And you can look at that from spiritual standpoint, a scientific standpoint. It doesn't matter. If you don't have clarity, it's not going to happen. Okay, so the first thing is really get real clear about what it is that you want. Okay, and so my assumption is you're here because you want to get extremely lean in the easiest, simplest way. If not, then you're not gonna like any of the stuff that I talk about. Okay, so my goal is to look like this. Okay, and to look like this. Okay, this is a picture from when I got up to, this was like 180 pounds, 185 pounds. That's a story for another day. But this is where I started right here. This is not the best picture of what I used to look like. But long story short, and this was me at age 19, maybe 20. And this is me at 33. This is a picture from like middle of last year, I think. But getting clear on that is number one. So this is what I want. I don't want to lose weight. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be jacked as possible, and as lean as possible, and strong as possible, and athletic as possible. Okay? So that's the first part. And now, I know a lot of people they get caught up on this part where they need to like justify why they want what they want, versus you decide what you want. There's no justification needed, because then what it allows you to do is be able to systematically close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Okay, so for me, this is very important to be athletic, right? And then of course you're gonna have haters are always gonna, it's all in good fun, but people are always gonna say things like this. But it's 10 feet, by the way. But that's the goal, right? And so to be able to do these things, okay, is my goal. Okay, no matter how old I am. I'm currently 34 years old, and I just continue to get stronger and more athletic and leaner and blah 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 blah. So one of the tools that's most important in this journey, if you want to get as lean as possible, is to know how to do that. And what we're trying to do here, okay, we're going to focus on the fat loss aspect of this, because if you want to look like this, you need to reduce the amount of fat on your body so you can see the muscle underneath. Very, very obvious, but people don't think about that. And so once we know, okay, what we're trying to do is reduce the fat, now we can look at the first principles of that. Like, what is the physics of fat loss? Because fat loss, or fat on your body, is atoms. When you break it down, that is what is let me see. So this is what fat is, right? And so we know exactly what it is. It's carbons, hydrogens, and oxygens, right? And if you know that, then we can engineer this in a very simple way. And then we can organize it in a way where you are getting fat loss regardless of circumstance, okay? So this is human fat, okay? 55 carbon, 104 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen, okay? So what we need to do is reduce the amount that is on our body, and then where does it go? We breathe it out, okay? Carbon dioxide. And so what needs to happen? We need to know the exact amount of food that we're consuming so that we go into a deficit, okay? I think this one might be a good one too. Yeah, so this is a good one as well that demonstrates what's actually happening. So when people are like, they're like talking about, oh, it's just so hard, it's so stubborn, it's blah, blah, blah. It's not. You're just not following the laws of physics, okay? So now let's get into it. So one of the big tools that is important is making foods that are lower in calories, aka lower in atoms, but are high enjoyment, right? So that's where the food enjoyment matrix comes in, which is, you know, this is your enjoyment, low enjoyment, high enjoyment. This is your calorie density on this side. So this is low calorie density, high calorie density, and then this is your enjoyment, low enjoyment, high enjoyment. So we want to stay in quadrant 1, which is high enjoyment, low calorie density, as much as possible. So that's why you make your own food, because you can create whatever you want. So as you can see, like if you go through my thing, you can see like I'm not eating, you know, lettuce. Like this is the kind of stuff that I'm eating, right? Quesadilla or enchiladas, chicken tenders. But one of the big tools is knowing how to cook chicken breasts, because chicken breasts are a very versatile tool in your tool belt, okay? So let's take a look. Let's get into this. Most people can't cook for shit, which is why then they don't make their own stuff, and which is why they end up eating stuff that's super high in calories. So let's get into this right here, okay? In order to cook a perfect chicken breast, you need 3 ingredients: chicken breast, garlic salt, butter. Here are the tools you need. A skillet. I like the skillet. You can click this and see the one that I use. You can use any pan really, but I like the iron skillet. Some tongs, stopwatch. You can use the phone app. A good knife, a cutting board, and maybe a meat hammer. Okay. Here's the prep. All you want to do is make sure your chicken breast is not too thick, because when it's too thick, it will throw off. You'll have uneven cooking, okay? So what I like to do is either slice the chicken long ways so it's no more than 1 inch thick. That takes a little bit of practice, or you can use a meat hammer like this and just pound the meat so that it is no more than 1 inch thick. This is so absurdly simple, it's crazy, okay? So here's what you do. I like to use butter on the pan. So you're going to turn the pan on, and then you're going to put some butter on it. Butter is super high in calories, but that doesn't mean we're not going to use it, because all we're going to do is we're going to measure it, because you don't actually need a whole stick of butter to cook things, okay? It's just you need to track it so you know how much you're consuming. So the easiest way to do this is turn your scale on with your stick of butter on top of the scale, okay? You see, when you turn it on and the butter's there, it'll say 0. Then what you'll do is you'll go ahead and take that stick of butter, put it on the pan, okay, at whatever amount you want, put it back on the scale, and you'll get a negative number, okay? you'll see this is -7. So that means we now have 7 grams missing from here, which is now in the pen, which is what is going to go in your body, which is very easy to track. This takes like 5 seconds, right? So people go, oh, I don't know how to track. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want to track, then you're on your own. Process, so simple. You're going to put garlic salt on your chicken, both sides. It's no more than 1 inch thick. Throw it on the pan, 2 to 3 minutes. Don't touch it. Leave it. Flip it again, or flip it and leave it again for 2 to 3 minutes. Take it off the pan, put it on your cutting board, leave it for 2 to 3 minutes, and you're done. Okay? Now, from here, you could do whatever you want. This is where I throw mine in burritos and tacos. You know, chicken breast is a staple. It's super fast. Like, this is like no more than 10 minutes, right? Then you could do whatever you want, okay? This is what it comes out like, and like I've made all kinds of stuff with chicken. Let me see if I can pull anything up. Well, regardless, you can make a lot of different things with that chicken breast, and it's delicious, it's fast, super low in calories, super high in protein, and you know, protein is a topic for another day, but you know, you can make tacos, burritos, whatever you want. You can make crunchy tacos in an air fryer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can make enchiladas. I love enchiladas. Like, man, this, I don't know, what is this? Okay, this is a video. Alright, well, there you go. Enchiladas. Me saying some stuff about enchiladas. But yeah. Let me know if that helps. Let me know if you got questions. Yeah, no more. I don't have any more chicken stuff on here, so I'll put more chicken stuff. But like, you can do whatever. Like, this is so good. You can just eat this with like barbecue sauce. You could throw it in a sandwich, throw it on a salad, whatever you feel like doing. Throw it in stir fry, blah blah blah.